I thought I worked hard, but when I look back at it, I didn't. When you look at these Kobe stories, and now that we got this online stuff, and you really
Mm-hmm.
see how much work they put in, and I go back to my high school days, and I'm like, bro, I did not put in nowhere near the type of work that I needed to be successful in that game.
Welcome back to the Too Stubborn to Fail podcast, where we tell stories about overcoming adversity. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We got a real special guest in the building today. He's a personal trainer, content creator, just an overall dope individual. Corday Anderson. How you doing today, bro?
I'm good, man. Appreciate you having me. Love the show, man. Love the content.
Absolutely. So we actually linked up at a networking event, two actually. So we didn't get to chop it up at the first one. The Success is My Prey conference. That was actually my first event I ever did, like covering with the podcast. And then um, the second event that we actually connected with, they ended up being my third. But that's when we actually got to like chop it up and create some content and start to build that relationship. So I thought that was cool that we was able to spin that into here we are today creating.
Man, it's amazing, man. It's a blessing what like networking can do. Like you say, the first time I seen you grinding at the first conference show, we was
Hmm.
just it was a lot going on. But I
Right.
seen you had your whole setup as a podcast, selling your
Hmm.
merch. And I was like, wow, that boy grinding. And so I
Hmm.
wanted to chop it up with you, but it was a lot going on. But that second time I saw you, I said, oh, what's going on, my boy? Like
Hmm.
we got to tap in one time.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we definitely gonna talk about networking a little bit later in the episode. But I always like to start it off by let us know where you from.
I'm from Simpsonville, South Carolina, man. It's a little small town below Greenville, South Carolina. I went to graduated from Hillcrest High School.
Okay.
I was an athlete, played basketball, blue collar guy, man. Just put the hard work in. That's what I was always taught.
Hmm.
And now I'm on this journey of entrepreneurship. So yeah, that's a little bit
Okay.
about me.
Simpsonville, is that where AJ Green from? Is he from that area kind of?
Nah, AJ Green. I
No.
think yeah, around. I don't know. Is it around Columbia area around that way?
I thought he had played for Simpsonville, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, our high school is called in Simpsonville. It's called Hillcrest. So yeah, I know. I know.
Oh,
I would
okay.
know
So it
AJ
wasn't
Green.
nah, it wasn't Hillcrest. Okay, okay. Cool. So growing up, like, do you remember like seeing any role models as far as entrepreneurship is concerned, or is it something that you learned about later?
You know what's so crazy? I think when I look back at it now, I think I seen entrepreneurship, but I didn't know what it was.
Hmm.
So, but to answer that question, I would say no, like, because I didn't know what it was or what it looked like at the time. I didn't
Hmm.
have no role model to look up to that was in our community and that was like, you can go this route, try a business or come join my business and let me mentor you to show you the
Right.
way to how to handle it. So I never seen that. And that's why in this area, it's like get a factory job and work your way up
Right.
you and then to that mindset change and then now it's like yo this factory job is at the peak like it can't get you rich,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, the big people making the big bucks, that's who you need to be like, and so it's like something I had to learn. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
man. And Union is the same way with that small town. Not really a whole lot to show you, at least earlier on from a business standpoint. And like you said, factory jobs. People put in 20, 30, 40 years. And at the end of it, all they got to show for it is maybe a plaque or something like that, and the whole time their body breaking down from all this hard work, working these 7 days, 10-hour days, 12-hour days. So it's a grind, bro. It's a grind, and like you said, it's not a whole lot. It wasn't a whole lot to learn from a business standpoint early, unless you knew somebody. And like you said, being young, you don't even really know what entrepreneurship is, so you don't know what to look for.
Mm,
So looking back at it, it probably was, like maybe somebody owned a clothing store, or how people own the funeral homes. That's a business, but we wasn't thinking like that back then. We was just, we just taught to get a job.
mm. To get a
So that,
job. And guess what we did? We wasn't taught like about your credit, how you can leverage that
right.
credit, business credit to start your. So it's like when you taking a deep dive in, I think at a point, it comes to a point when you get older and then you have to do your own research
Hmm.
and follow somebody. And then that's where you do all your learning. And then you go back and be like, okay, this is what I want to do. I finally figured out my purpose in life. Like, I
Hmm.
think it's a lot more. But believe me, it's hard work too, though. A lot of
Oh
people
yeah.
do it, a lot of people give up.
Hmm. Hmm. But I mean, it's worth it though. At the end of the day. Um, so I noticed, with you being the personal trainer, have you always been into fitness, or was it just, something that you just growing up in the sports that, just made sense?
Yeah, it just made sense, man. Like I say, when I got older, I realized like, yo, fitness, that's what I did.
Hmm.
Like playing AAU basketball at a young age, starting playing basketball at 6, like I was not doing basketball all the time. That was basketball was life. That was the dream for me.
Right.
Like that's what I saw. As far as entrepreneurship, that's what I seen. That's what I wanted to be. That's what I thought I worked hard, but when I look back at it, I didn't. When you look at these Kobe stories, and now that we got this online stuff, and you really
Hmm.
see how much work they put in, and I go back to my high school days, and I'm like, bro, I did not put in nowhere near the type of work that I needed to be successful in that game. You know
Man,
what I'm
you
saying?
said a mouthful there, because like as soon as me personally, as soon as practice over, I'm home. As soon as
Mm,
practice was over for them, they got another 2 hours of work to put in. So I mean, no wonder, you couple that with being, in a small town, and it wasn't like I started, but I wasn't like that dude. Like I wasn't gonna be in the papers or nothing like that. So
mhm.
so I would have had to have that kind of work ethic to, go on to the next level, and it makes sense looking back.
Yo, they say a professional, like let's the terms of basketball, like that jumper that you shaky about, that
Hmm.
professional, he shot that so many times. He know
Hmm.
everywhere on that court what he done shot this jump 1,000 times. This is
Hmm.
going in.
Yep.
Like with me, we were just playing. We played a lot in the backyard,
Right.
but it was just more free play.
Right. Right.
So when game time situations come, I didn't make that shot. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And then it come to a high school where you like, yo, what I want to do? I didn't play basketball all my life. And now you got to come to a decision to where this is over.
Hmm.
That's a hard pill
Ooh,
to swallow.
that last game, the last game of your high school career, boy. Woo,
Think about that,
that's
bro.
rough. Especially
That's
when you know that you're not going to play college ball. That stung. That sting is a wake up call, and then for me it was football. That was my first love. That is really my only love. I like basketball, but I love football. So I played it, as a kid all the way up until high school. And last game for us was upper state championship, and lost 14-0. I never forget it. It was rough, boy. And having that realization that that was the last time I was ever going to like put them pads on and hit. So that, it was tough. It was tough.
So let's stay right there. So that
Hmm.
feeling, all high school athletes get it because
Yep.
it's only the percentage is low.
Hmm.
And so now I feel like that's why personal training, that's why I came in. I was like, yo, if that was something you love, you need to figure out a field to where you can get some money off doing something you love. Personal training. That's
Yep.
you can do anything with train somebody.
Hmm.
Why do kids don't go into that lane though? Like why they figure like, okay, it's over. Like you say, like we feel like yo, it's over. Like, dang, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I gotta go get a job. When you
Yeah.
probably might need to go be a coach. You've been doing this all your life. This is second nature to you. This is something you
Hmm.
know. You might not been that good, but you know the game.
Right.
Step into coaching. But I don't know. It's I don't know, man. We just veer off and then we just try to find a job and I don't know.
Well, I think a big part of it is just like our parents, man. They, they are supporters, but I didn't grow up with my father in the household to, go ahead and give me that extra push. And I'm not saying that him not being there is what, kept me from going to the next level. But, it couldn't have hurt for him to be there. But I think with my mom and my grandparents, they just were more focused on school for me, which school ain't a bad thing, but I had no idea what I wanted to do. And
Mm.
I would say looking back, going to college with no plan is a terrible idea for your finances, for your overall happiness. I would suggest like if you don't have no idea what you want to do, just go get a job. Cause the school is gonna be there, It's colleges ain't going nowhere, bro. And for me, um, I had no idea what I wanted to do. School just made sense because it was that next step. So, I ended up going to USC Union for 2 years, and that was cool. Got a little job on the side and just started partying hard. I mean, I enjoyed myself. For my first 2 years of college was lit. I mean, the whole thing was pretty dope. But my first 2 years, that's when fresh out of high school, you got your freedom. You even when you in school, but the classes is so spread out, you ain't going to school all day like you was in high school. So it's a whole lot of freedom and time to grow up and realize, damn, this is life, And I was still living because of where the school was. I was still living at home, so I didn't have no major bills. I had a job, and I was 18, so I was living, bro. It was um it was a whole lot of fun, and I don't regret any of it. I know I didn't really do a whole lot of productive stuff outside of school. As a matter of fact, it felt like every weekend it was another party. But I felt like I had to get that out of my system. To be fair, that kind of helped me bring things in at an early age, and at 26 I got married. So by that point, that stretch, I got everything out of my system in that 2 to 3 years of college. So I don't regret it from that standpoint. But as far as like business and racking up that debt, I could have went without that.
Hey, but when you said you hit it on the head, man, when you said like far as like I ain't gonna say my parents, I had my mother, my dad, you know what I'm saying? He was there, but he wasn't there like he's supposed to be. But
Hmm.
anyway, just think about how a parent, like parenting, like I don't know if you got kids, but
Oh
you
yeah.
can see, like my kid, I can see what they're good at right now. Like,
Hmm.
so think about if you had that guidance and somebody that was tell you, son, you might not make it in football, but I see you love this.
Right.
Try coaching. It's like let's stick with this. You love this.
Right.
You talk about you cried in the last game, so you passionate about this. Let's stay. Let's figure out something where you can get some money by doing what you love. Think about if you had that guidance, like, when you
Hmm.
said that, that's what came to my mind. Like, yo, what if I would have had that somebody, that type of person that was there for me, that know me, like
Hmm.
from the bottom and know what I like and guided me like, son, you like that. I think you need to. take that career. Like if you want to go to school, you can. But we you know what I mean? If you ain't got it, you just out here, like you say. Then we go to college. Now we on our own. Like we want to have
Yeah.
fun.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom line. That's it.
That's
That's all we think
it.
about. Real
Man,
talk.
that was like I said, that was just that was hard, but with that whole process, if I had somebody like that, it could have been a little different. But you know, it is what it is. We still here today, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I know we talked about fitness being like the next. That just what made sense for you because with sports being heavy in your life. Um, as far as personal training, like what was that process like becoming a personal trainer for you?
So I got into like weightlifting probably like 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So that first year I was on and off. And then, like you say, went down the YouTube channel, just started liking trainers and and just started just diving into that. I ain't even really noticed that, but when I got free time, that's what I was looking up. I was looking up like guys like Mike Rashid, how he had his YouTube channel, how he was motivating you through fitness. And I was like, dang. So he the whole time he motivated me to go to the gym and I do his workouts and I was doing them. And so, but I never did. I never thought about the personal trainer. I wanted to get money. It was just a passion.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day I was just like, yo, just let me go do this course. Like, let me go. So I went and signed up. And then, yo, it changed my whole thought process of
Mm-hmm.
health. I started learning so much. I'm like, if I don't notice these things, like these people out here that I know, and I'm telling them, they have no idea. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
yo, so it's like I found my purpose. Like I already work out, but let me learn like what I supposed to eat, the portions amount I supposed to eat, the calorie intake, like how black people we the number one for diabetes. Like yo, this is serious. And like how I look back on it, my family, how I done had uncles and stuff like that have heart attacks, and like yo, health is your number one. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that's got to be
Mm-hmm.
up there. You got to take care of yourself.
Yep.
So that brought that burning desire. So now it's like, yo, now I just want to give it all what I know and do some more research. And whoever want to get on that journey, hey, I'm here.
So what's your favorite part of working out? Like when you not training somebody, but when you personally like in the gym in the middle of a session, what's your favorite part of that?
My favorite part is like getting over that last set, and
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I can't do it. And I tune everything in. Like it's hard, it's challenging. That's what drives me, the challenge. The
Mm-hmm.
next goal, I feel like I accomplished something that day. You know what I'm saying? In the gym, I overcame something. I got through that last set, or I got that heavy weight. And you know what I'm saying? That's what drives me.
Man, that for me, and this might sound a little crazy, but I love when it's raining. I love when it's cold. I love when it's that big excuse that most people ain't gonna be there. And
Mhm.
I get off on showing up at the gym and knowing that yeah, I'm one of the ones that didn't let because it was cold or because whatever was going on stop me from getting to the gym. Because I like to go to the gym at 5:30. Well, like to. That's the only time I really have during my day. So I work out at 5:30 in the morning, and I notice like I said, if it's cold, if it's raining, if there's anything going on, most people ain't gonna show up. And I love the fact that I'm there even through all of that, and that made me want to go harder because that's your competent. When the competition ain't there, that's when you got something. So that for me, that's really what would drive me in the gym is working harder than everybody else.
Bro, that's a powerful mindset to have. Think about that.
Hmm.
So when it worked, and then you start seeing your body change, that
Hmm.
confidence is gonna be so crazy. It's gonna spill over to everything you do, bro. Spill
Hmm.
over to you ain't even gonna notice it. You just gonna be in that bag.
Hmm. And that
Yeah.
for me, it was like I started. So in the where I'm at now, I am almost 3 years of consistently working out. So of course, being in sports, the gym ain't no shock for me. But I had never worked out more than I say 3 to 6 months at a time. I work out 6 months, see results for whatever reason, just stop going to the gym. And it was this pattern of never really putting it together. It was like I grew up in sports, so why am I not seeing the progress that, I once saw? And it came down to consistency for me. So during the pandemic, when we all had to sit down for a minute, I made a decision. I was like, you know what? From this point forward, I'm gonna go ahead and put my head down. I'm not gonna, put no weight goal on it or no kind of goal on it. I'm just gonna put my head down and go to the gym as much as I possibly can. And I joined. So I first started with 9 rounds, and 9 rounds was cool. 9 rounds got me. I probably dropped about 15 to 20 pounds from that. And that was my first time having like any kind of boxing, kickboxing training. So that was cool from that aspect too. But the one that's close to my house, it closed down because of COVID. They couldn't, COVID closed a lot of things down, but that one closed down. So I was like, man, what I'm gonna do? I really like that. And, going to Planet Fitness is cool, but at the same time, it was kind of hard for me to create my own workouts and stay motivated enough to go. So I was like, nah, I need something kind of along the lines of 9 rounds. So what do I do? Boom, title boxing. So
Mm.
I go there, and that ended up being even a better experience because for one, with 9 rounds, that's only 30 minutes. Title, you got an hour. You got an hour. I get more in-depth boxing training, and it's just a better workout altogether. So I was like, yeah, I can do this. So I started off with 2 days a week, then I moved to three, and then I moved up to 5 days a week. Fast forward like a year after that, I was down like 50 pounds off of just keeping my head down, and going in the gym every day. So consistency was my main thing that was keeping me from like hitting that goal. And we coming up on 3 years now, bro. 3 years straight just working out. No real. The only time that I've taken off is because of being sick from like COVID or something like that. But as far as like just taking time off, nah. Every week. As a matter of fact, I just hit my goal last week. I had set my yearly goal for 160 workouts for the year, and I hit that
Mm.
like last week. So next year it'll be like 170, and it's just gonna go up every year. But it's a way of life now for me. Is basically what I'm saying. And going 3 years consistently, like you said, something something click in the mind, and it just spills over to everything now.
Man, that's inspiring, boy. I'm telling you, that's what
Mhm.
I tell people all the time. It's not a quick fix.
Mm-mm.
People think you want it's consistency.
Mhm.
Like, if you do that, give me 90 days. Because once you do it for 90 days, it's going to turn into a habit.
Yep.
So if you stay consistent, you're going to see the results, man. And then pair on to, well, I feel like it's three things in fitness that I feel like people, if you're serious, this is what you need. Of course, you're going to have to do the work. You have to do the work. So whatever training you do it. Like you say, boss, there's so many options you could do. Whatever you
Mhm.
want to do that. And then the second is what you eat, because you are what you eat. Because if it ain't give you energy, it's going to store fat.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And the third thing is accountability. Like, who holding you accountable? Some people can hold their own self accountable, but some people need that assistance and they need that. And that's why I feel like a lot of men, they don't, you know what I mean, they don't really want to seek out help, which is good. I mean, you do what you can do, but if you want to change and you want something quick, you need somebody to hold it. Personal trainer might be an option, you know. You know what I'm saying? But if you got a mindset that, well, I'm gonna go get it done, let's get it done. But a lot of people, like you say, it's getting ready to be January, and I want to lose weight, but they start in January, then March, I ain't gonna hear from them.
Yeah, it sound good. I'm an advocate for personal trainers. Actually, I've never really outside of like your traditional 9 rounds or title boxing or whatever. I've never had a personal trainer yet, but I'm definitely going to get one just because I believe in it. I believe that, like you said, you need somebody that's going to hold you accountable for one, and keep you motivated on them days where you don't feel like it, because it's going to be a whole bunch of them days during the year that you
Hope.
just ain't going to feel like it, but you still got to show up. At the end of the day, your bills is due. At the end of the day, like your goals is still there, whether you feel like hitting them or not, they still there. So
Mhm.
on them days when you don't feel it, you need somebody to give you that boost, somebody to let you know that, hey, this is what you told me you wanted to do. Let's
Mhm.
get it.
That's like a coach, man. That's why I
Mm-hmm.
feel like personal training is basically like coaching, man. MJ needed Phil.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Kobe needed Phil. You know what I'm saying? They had the skill, but who gonna map out the play, the strategy? Like, okay, you
Yep.
come to me, like, yo, I'm listening to you. Like, yo, I want to lose this amount of weight. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I come and we gonna strategize together. Now we writing this down. We gonna hit these goals. We gonna make this a habit. So now you're gonna build this confidence and you're gonna see this change. And boy, you know the feeling. Like when you see your body change and them clothes start to fit how you, bro, that confidence is through the roof. It's a
Man,
different feeling, man. It's priceless.
you ain't lying. So do you have you have an ideal client?
Um, that's a great question, bro. I'm gonna tell you like what my goal is probably right now. What I want to do, I want to kind of like form a community. I know you probably done been to like a mentorship program or something that you
Mm-hmm.
done bought into an investment. Like I really want this to be. I'm building like an investment for anybody who's really dedicated to this fitness journey.
Mm-hmm.
So we can just basically do it online. And I want to get a community, man, around people, and then we just make it happen like that. We have Zoom meetings once a week, but I really don't have an ideal client. I wanted to go into that bag with the kids and whoever
Mm-hmm.
want to lose weight. But my ideal client is somebody who, when they sign that paper, I want you to be dead serious. Like I ain't even gonna want to waste your time because we're gonna have an assessment and we gonna know if you're real. Because my name on that. If you signed up with me, okay, let's get to work. Like we gonna take this serious and we gonna make it happen. That's my
Man,
ideal client. Like
okay.
somebody who's serious. They fed up. They done tried it, and now they are here for change.
That's the main thing. That's the main thing. They got to be ready for it. So, do you have any tips for anybody who like getting into the gym for the first time, or for somebody who not necessarily for the first time, but the first time in a long time? You got any tips for anybody who need to get back in there?
Okay. My first tip is just go in the gym, man. Just go in. If you know any workouts, start out with YouTube. There's workouts everywhere. Whatever you like to do, if that's walking, start off easy, man. Don't try to do all this extra stuff on Instagram that you see people doing. Start off with the simple basics. If you need to just do some push-ups and crunches, try to set goals and do something simple. You know what I'm saying? Don't go out here try to do all these extreme workouts because you're gonna put a lot of pressure on yourself and you might give up quick. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like start off simple and just stay consistent, like you said earlier in the gym. And then if you need more help, you can come holler at me. But I give out tips every day. I'm gonna start doing that, man. Just get on live and to give out health tips. And like I say, if you dead serious, we gonna lock in and make it happen. But yeah, just stay consistent and start out simple. And don't be intimidated because it is intimidating. I remember the time where I ain't been to the gym in a while. You going to the gym, it's intimidating, bro. I ain't gonna lie. You look
Yeah,
around, you
it
see
is.
people. That's
You see old boy in the corner throwing up 300. He come every day though.
every day. Like
You can't
he
compare.
put
You
the
can't
work.
compare to that.
Yeah,
It
just
ain't.
be confident. Start off simple and stay consistent. and that's gonna
Hmm.
take you a long way. That's my advice.
I like that. And we've been touching on it this whole time, but in your opinion, like what is like one of the main benefits of being consistent? Like consistency, not only in the gym, but just period. What in your opinion, what's the benefits of being consistent?
Man, that's gonna take you a long way. Just think about being consistent at something, how farther along you get through life. Like if you just keep doing this consistently, you're gonna master the skill, and it's gonna come a point in your life is the where you don't even think about it no more. It's just is second nature. You want to get to that spot to where this is what I do. This is a part of life for me. Consistency. I'm gonna keep doing this until we get what I want. Too stubborn to fail. Like we finna get in that bag, and we just gonna achieve. But you're gonna have to start with that though. Whatever you do, I don't care what it is, because you want to master the skill, and that's what I feel like that would take people over the top too, man. You know what I'm saying? You look at, I
Hmm.
started out as I got older, man. I started studying the grades. Like I feel like as a culture though, bro, we always putting down the grades. Why are we not studying Jay Z, his
Hmm.
moves? He put it all out there. Even Deion Sanders. I'm looking at Deion Sanders. I'm actually studying this guy. He's giving us
Hmm.
content every day on how to coach. This is, this is priceless. But we want to talk about his moves and all that. No, just look into what he's doing. Take a step back and humble yourself, because you don't know what decision you would have made if somebody throwing you all that money. You can't count that man
Man,
and all
we got
that.
way too many opinions on the next man, and like you said, we don't really understand what they going through, why they doing what they doing. So we in a society where we so quick to judge everything without knowing any of what's really going on behind the scenes. And I wish people would pump the brakes instead of just going and firing off right away, because we don't know everything that's going on with the situation. He could have a greater plan in mind, but it's so much easier to judge what he doing. It's so easy to like just be mad at what he, and thinking about him leaving Jackson State. Like just think about what he did for Jackson State, and realize that nobody tripped when you left Walmart. So I mean, you just can't. We got to stop judging, bro. As a society, and just let people live, let them do them.
Man, just think about if you was in high school right now and you wanted to become a coach,
Yeah.
football coach. It's all on YouTube.
Mhm.
The talk, the tone, how to lead a winning program,
Mhm.
how to use social media for your kids, the younger kids, in a good way.
Yep.
Bro, he done laid the blueprint down for you. It's
And
nowhere else to look.
if you really paid attention to him, like, he laid the blueprint for how to be a superstar, because he went ahead and cemented his place in history as one of the greatest, not only DBs of all time, but one of the greatest athletes of all time. Did that, boom, became prime time. Then flipped that into being a coach, and took that persona of prime time to HBCUs. Nobody was talking about HBCUs before prime. And people can front all they want, but nobody was thinking about HBCUs before prime came. And he shined that light on, and now what, we got HBCUs on ESPN too. We got, he was able to secure the top recruit, which never happened in history. So he did a lot for the culture, and it's sad that some of us wanna throw mud on him because they didn't like his decision. So I mean, at the end of the day, people always gonna have problems with what you do. So you just got to do it,
Gotta do it.
regardless. You got to do it.
We kill our top leaders. Okay, we gotta look at our top leaders, man. We look at our top black leaders that's done this. Yo, they done had been up under a lot of scrutiny,
Hmm.
like with own people that we
Hmm.
try to bring everybody together. You might not like this or whatever. Okay, just because you don't like an opinion, yo, just listen. Or if you don't like it, if it ain't your stilo, what are you doing to help the community? You know what I'm saying? You can't Daryl him for what he trying to do. He got a goal that he trying to set out and accomplish to help. But all you want to do is talk about, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. But I guess if you put out your work, people are gonna judge. They're gonna put their opinion on it.
Anyway,
I understand it.
yeah, it just come. I guess it just come with it. Especially somebody like Prime. He always gonna be in the spotlight. So I can't wait to see what he does with Colorado, especially with him bringing his key players with him. I'm interested to see how fast he can turn that program around. But before we get back into the conversation, we're going to take a quick break and pay some bills. So we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. Real Dope Photography is more than just dope photos. It's a celebration of your brand, beauty, and confidence at any stage of your life. Our goal is to capture the greatest moments in your life and the world around you. Visit our website at realdopephotography.com. That's realdopephotography.com. And the real is spelled REEL. You know, like a reel of film. Make sure you set up your free consult today. Mention the Too Stubborn to Fail podcast on your booking form in the How Did You Hear About Us section, and you can receive a 20% discount. All right, let's get back to the show. Welcome back to the Too Stubborn to Fail podcast, where we tell stories about overcoming adversity. We got Corday Anderson in the building today, and just to continue the conversation, I know we touched on it a little bit, but we met at a networking event. But what makes you attend networking events, and why do you like going to them so much?
I think it's the like minded people, like the people in that atmosphere of because you're gonna have at a networking event, you're gonna have people that's successful in their entrepreneur stuff, and then you're gonna have people that's trying, and then you're gonna have people that's just getting started.
Hmm.
So it's like those dreams that where you want to be, you got that person right there that you can go and maybe ask something about, get some advice, get some tips. Like you got that all around because you got to think about it, it's hard because the people that we around every day, they don't got the same mindset that we have. So when you go to these networking events, you need to make it a goal to get 5 phone numbers, you know, because it's gonna be some times where do your entrepreneur journey, it's gonna be rough, man. You might have
Yeah.
spent your last. Don't nobody know that feeling but another entrepreneur. You know, spend your
Hmm.
last on some marketing tools, and you hoping that this play that you ran with your business is gonna come, but it might not. So you don't know
Right.
when the next dollar coming through. So you're gonna have people around you that can hold you accountable, mentor, that you can build relations with, and it's a perfect way, man. That's I don't know, that's priceless, man. We don't take advantage of it. I'm telling you, we don't.
Man, you right about that. And for me, I love the energy that I get from being in the room with other creatives and other people who have decided to like go into business for themselves. And you're right. It's a certain level of things that you go through as a business owner that only other business owners can understand and feel. So you need that support system, and you need to connect with those people outside of that so y'all can keep that thing going in between events, because it's so easy to quit, and there's so many things that happen to us as business owners that can make you quit on a daily basis. So you're right. You got to get around people who are doing what you're doing. Um, some of them may be just starting out. Some of them, might be booming. But you need to get in there with all of them. And you actually answered one of the questions I was going to ask you for some tips for networking events. But you kind of talked about that with you know making it a goal to connect with at least 5 people. I know for me personally, now I was going to networking events even before I had the podcast, but now I use that as a tool to get some easy content. It's a
Mhm.
no brainer for me to set up and have my merch over here, get some content from the people, and it, so far it's definitely helped grow the channel. It's helped push the message and grow the brand. So I'm gonna be at as many events as I possibly can. I probably will make it a goal to try to make it out to at least one a month, maybe even more. We'll see. But also, I'm trying to develop a package where I can offer these services to the host of the event. And somebody actually hit me up last week asking me how much I charge. So I had to come up with a package, and send them that. And hopefully, I may be doing something as soon as like the first week of January.
Yo, that's amazing, my boy.
Hmm.
Like, you don't know how what your play is. Like, I can see how you explain that vision, bro.
Hmm.
That's so possible to be like colossal,
Hmm.
big, to be the content creators for these networking events.
Hmm.
Yo, that's so huge. That's why I seen it when I first seen you had the whole setup. You getting
Yeah.
all this good energy and one thing you getting all that.
Hmm.
And people gonna follow that content. And like you say, you're gonna put up a package to well, okay, that's like me. I wanna throw an event.
Yep.
I could just hit you, yo, what's the play? Like now I know you're gonna get all that content.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
showing love, you doing, you done been to networking events, so you know the right things, what to point out and
Right.
do this. So I already gotta ask it. I just, you handle that. So I ain't even gotta worry about the content. Now I'm just focusing on the speakers I need to have and what I'ma say.
Yep. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You done took that headache away. You done kill two birds with one stone. That's amazing, bro. I ain't gonna
Yeah,
lie.
man. And I would never. It, some things you just got to go out there and try. Like I had no idea that I would be doing this 6 months ago. It's just something that you just gotta do it, man. That's so big of a thing. Not only with entrepreneurship, but with everything that you want to be successful in. You just gotta do it, especially when it comes to your mind. Just do it because the longer you let it just sit in your head, it's just never gonna happen. So that's probably my biggest message right now is just whatever you got going on. If you come up with an idea, as long as you ain't hurting nobody, as long as it's legal, try it.
Try it, man. Like, first of all, you done try it. You done stepped out there. You done took that risk. A lot of
Hmm.
people won't even do that. They didn't even
Yep.
take that first step.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people won't even take that first step. And you done, so now you way ahead of everybody because you done jumped out there and tried.
Hmm.
And then what we talked about earlier, stay consistent at it, boy. Ain't no telling what's gonna take you.
Hey, but and I just love the connections that you make at these events anyway. But I also make a connection on another level because I get them on the podcast and we get to chop it up like more personal because at the event you depending on who you're talking to, they may be giving you a conversation, but they got to get back to their booth, or they're giving you a conversation, but they need to give their attention to the room instead of just you. So to be able to get their information and have like a personal one-on-one with them, have conversations like this, where you can truly build that relationship. I think that's probably the most beneficial thing that I've seen. The way I use networking is the great for me. I definitely see like that one-on-one that you get now can't compare to what we was doing, at the event itself. Because, we talk, what, 5, 10, 15 minutes, maybe top.
Mhm.
But now we get to have like an in-depth conversation and like really learn each other. So I think that's the dopest thing that I've started to do, you know.
Yep. That's big. Like what's your like a at networking events, like the things that you probably would need to make the atmosphere like off the chain, like what you think you need. Like I know you're gonna definitely need it's hard to get people to come though. That's the thing
That's the
though,
thing.
bro.
Well, that's what it is. I think the majority of your efforts need to be on promotion. Um,
Mm,
and if you don't have a network of people that are going to show up and participate, you need to hire somebody that does. Um,
Mm.
I think your budget needs to go like it literally. Don't worry about them flashy events that's going venues that's gonna charge you $4,000 to hold it. You can put it in a hole in the wall for your first couple events. You need to spend all your time promoting the event or hire somebody who know what they're doing from a promotion standpoint, because once the room is packed, that's all people gonna remember. They're not gonna remember where it is. They're gonna remember, man, it was so many dope people at this event. I met such and such. He put me on this. We about to do this. So really, the promotion. That's my number one thing from going to all these events that I noticed. The best events are the events where all the people come. So what do
Mhm.
you gotta do? You gotta worry about getting the people in the seats. It doesn't matter where the event is, as long as there's people there, the networking gonna happen naturally.
Yep, you right. Mm-hmm.
You get business owners in the room, they gonna talk. Don't
Boy,
even worry about that. You get a room full of business owners and customers. Hey, that's all you need. That's the main goal. So if I know I do down the road see me hosting my own. So knowing that play, I'm going to, hone in on that. That's what I'm going to put a big part of the budget on is promotion. I'm gonna pay somebody to do that, somebody who know what they're doing, and I just focus on, because my wife and I also have an event design business, so we know how to make it look from aesthetics. We know how to make it look a certain way, so that's easy. Promotion is hard, so I rather pay somebody, and I think that's a big part of a problem for business owners, is realizing that sometimes you just got to pay a professional to do it. Like I know you can go and try to do it the free way, or try to learn it on YouTube, but at some point you got to realize that everything ain't for you to do on your own. Realize what a professional looks like, pay them to do it, and do what you can do.
do what you do best, man. Do what you do best. Like, don't be stressing about if you don't want to do the marketing. You don't hand that tool off to somebody who does that. That's what they paid to do.
Mhm.
Oh
Mhm.
my god, bro! All you gotta do is focus on the event, like you say, the experience. Like
Mhm.
like you say, you and your old lady, y'all make that experience when you
Mhm.
come in that building. It's like, yo, it's a vibe. Like I like this,
Mhm.
and boy, and then you got them, and then you know
Yep.
what I'm saying, and then now
Yep.
you can. It's a lot of options. You networking, and then now you can get up there and promote your business. Ain't no
Mhm.
telling, bro. It's unlimited. Like how you can do that for
Absolutely.
real.
Absolutely. Um, but just to keep the conversation going, I do want to get on talk about the podcast. Is the risk podcast, all the risk?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead
It's
and
all
tell me what that is, what it means to you, how you came up with it, and what we can expect from it.
so I got a podcast. It's on YouTube. It's all in the wrist. So it's like one day it just came to me, man. As far as I started liking podcasts, I started just taking a deep dive in that, like all the different podcasts out here. And I was just like, and I seen how people leverage their podcast just for content.
Mhm.
So I won't have to be trying to make content when I'm talking. I can have a conversation like this. And bro, how many times you gonna chop this up? And that's great content. So me, I was like, I can leverage the podcast with my content, with inspiring people and doing all that. And I just came up with the name. You're gonna have to take a risk with whatever you're trying to strive for. That risk may be getting on camera and talking. You know what I'm saying? That holds a lot of people back. It held me back because like
Held
it's
me
about
back.
the confidence and worried about what somebody else thinking. But you know in your mind, you have to do this to be successful. Because people
Mhm.
got to know who you are, man. That's just what it bottom line. If
Mhm.
don't nobody know who you is, you ain't making no money. Just think about the best entrepreneurs like out here. You can look at
Mhm.
Grant Cardone. You probably see him 100 times.
Mhm.
You know who he is though. You know what I mean? In your face. Like you got a Steve Harvey. Like, come on, man. Like you know who these people is. These are people that's making a top dollar.
Mm-hmm.
So take that risk. And that's what this is all about, man. I got a saying. I'm here just to uplift, motivate, and inspire. So that's you're gonna get top level energy with me, man. Like we going and that's what you come for. Something like an Eric Thomas, like you know, something like him. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
He got his lane. I wanna have my own lane, you know. So that's what it's about. All in the wrist podcast. Yep.
I love that name. That's a dope name, bro. At first, I thought you was saying all in the wrist. Um, but risk, that's even doper. So I mean, that plays into entrepreneurship and life in general. Like you said, you got to take a risk if you want to make it in anything. So safe. What they say, scared money don't make money. So
Yeah,
that's a
buddy, though.
dope. That's a dope. So you said it's on YouTube, and where else can they find it, or is it just on YouTube for now?
Basically, right now, man, on YouTube, just type
Okay.
in Corday Anderson, all in the wrist. She'll pop up. And then, like I say, bro, I was just using the content to leverage. That's what I
Yeah.
came with the podcast. I just put the podcast on it. So I just use the content to leverage it for my business and to inspire people. But when
Mhm.
I see how you do your job, bro, I was like, yo, I just do mine on YouTube and just for content. But I'm looking at you, I'm looking at how you the plays that you can really do with that.
Mhm.
Yo, like you, it's crazy, bro. You
Yes.
took. I see how you do it. You took yours to another level.
Yeah, man. And that's just one. That's another thing that, like, I just hit a year of podcasting in November 15th. But prior to that, a year before that, you couldn't tell me that I was gonna have a podcast. I really didn't have no idea. But again, after going through the weight loss journey and getting on the consistency path, like it bled over into everything. And I wanted to keep that feeling going. Once you accomplish something, you want to conquer something else. Not only that, me personally, I wanted to get out of my comfort zone. That's my main reason for creating the platform. Is it's forcing me to have conversations with people that we just now cultivating a relationship. But had I stayed at home, we would have never got the link. Had I stayed at home the second time, we would have never been here. Because we could have just had kept it at the first meeting at the successes the Prey conference where we didn't get to chop it up. Had I not gone to the second thing, then we wouldn't be here. So it's again, it all ties in together. It's about consistency. It's about taking a risk. It's about getting out of your comfort zone. And I'm starting to see all of that come full circle, and all it's gonna do is make me go harder.
Man, it's something about finding your purpose. Like it's something
Mhm.
about that, bro. Like
Mhm.
once you find it, bro, you're gonna take on everything. People gonna look at you like, what in the world? He was quiet. Camera. He got That's how. And it's crazy. Like when I go out now, and people like, but I see you doing your thing. I like that. And that gives you more motivation to keep
Mhm.
going, bro. It ain't even
Mhm.
about so now I see why people say it's not even about the money, bro. The
It ain't.
money gone.
Mm-mm.
But when you inspire other people and they watching your show and they looking at you as a leader.
Mhm. Mhm.
Cause
Yeah,
you
that's
done
a
step out
that's a
there
hell of a feeling. I ain't gonna lie.
and like that's big. Like, and that's what made me when I wanted to realize, I was like, yo, what do I do that's take a look at myself in the mirror and like, what do I do that's good? Like, and I was like, yo, I'm a natural born leader. Like, I was the oldest child on both sides, my mom and my daddy.
Mm.
So I had a lot of responsibilities that I could have led everybody the wrong way and couldn't even care about my brothers and little cousins and just did my own thing. But knowing the whole time they watching.
Right.
If they ain't got my daddy there, who else they looking up to? If I'm and so I was like, and I feel like I did a good job at that. And I was like, yo, so that's just natural. So now you got to get on camera and lead the right way.
Mhm. Man, that's dope. It's dope that you saw that at an early age. You was able to realize like somebody is looking. Somebody, especially with you being the oldest, somebody always looking. And even if you don't have like brothers or cousins or close family, somebody is always looking. Whether it's your family, whether it's potential customers, whether it's your next business partner, you never know. So you always got to hold yourself to a standard and stay on brand. But to kind of stay on brand, let's talk about RMG. I'm interested in that. I see you rep it hard. Um, tell me about what that means to you, and let's start there. Let's start with what does RMG mean to you?
Okay, so RMG Clothing is a clothing brand that my brother came up with, my middle brother.
Mhm.
So he came up with this opportunity, first of all, out of necessity. It was because, like, well, older you get, we go to these malls and you try to figure out what kind of clothes to put on. Like,
Mhm.
you just don't you don't get what you want, man. Just I'm like, man. And so we was talking like, man, I just want to make my own. Like I know what I want. I know I want to be fly. I know how I want to look. I just want to try make my own. So he dug in that bag. Like he went all the way in, like far as the comfort, quality, like the size. So he went into that bag and then he came up. He was like, yo, I want somebody when they wear it, I want it to mean something. So the first play was RMG. It was respect my grind.
Mhm.
So you wanted an acronym to, you know what I'm saying, like to know when people see it, they could just like WWJD. What would
Right.
you know what I'm saying? That
Mhm.
acronym, how you know how you see it and you already know what it
You
is.
already
But
know. Yeah.
go in that lane, but he wanted to go in that lane, but with clothing.
Right.
So we did this whole thing, bro. This journey is crazy. So we did this whole thing, came up with it, came up with the clothes, and then it was respect my grind. So boom, we hit a little momentum. So now it was just the groundwork. These people see it. I'm like, man, what that mean? Conversation start.
Mhm.
It was a great marketing tool. Hey, what that mean? Oh yes, respect my grind. Like we got something in the car. Nice to meet you. So it started off like that, the
Mhm.
groundwork. And then we started getting. So now for me, I wanted. Okay, so what can I do to help you, bro? And he was like, well, I'm just go hard, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? At the time I was studying Rick Ross. I was see how Rick
Yeah.
Ross was saying, like, yo, if you already bring like how you do Bel Air, and so I just followed that blueprint, bro, and I just
Mhm.
repped it hard, and I was like, yo, and then he was like, yo, we already brothers, so now it's a team. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You the owner, and I play my part for a social media market. This is what I do. I just
Right.
got to have it on and just promote my business or whatever the case may be. So that's it. Started out like that. Respect my grind. We about it. Let's say we a year into it. So now we coming to a point where so now, bro, we making money. Whatever money we put in, we're making it back and just
Right.
doing it like that. So now it comes to a point, okay, we need to trademark this name. We didn't even think about that. We just doing something and slapped it on.
Mhm.
Bro, and when we went to trademark, guess what?
Taken.
Somebody got it.
Mhm.
And so it's like hurt. And I'm like, so me and bro talk, like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, you know that feeling, like, bro, what? We done put pain, like
Mhm.
stuff is on the shirt. And just like, bro, what we gonna do? And so me, I was like, bro, let's come up with just try to come up with something else. Like, let's figure
Mhm.
it out. Let's figure it out. That's what we, bro. That's what entrepreneur it is. Like,
Problem solving.
you know, the map is all over the place. You're gonna come through a little speed bump. And so
Mhm.
he was just like, okay, okay. So I ain't gonna lie. About 2 weeks, he was sending me ideas, sending me ideas. I'm like, and then it come to a point where it's like real mogul gangs. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So it's like, that's a good play. You know, we wanted to be real, authentic. And then what do we want to come? What do we want to be? We want to be important people, mogul. Like that's what we want to be. That's what we strive to be. And then as far as you hit the gangs, like gaining, you know what I'm saying? Like what's you the next opportunity? What you gaining? What type of knowledge are you gaining? Are you gaining knowledge? Are you gaining gangs in the weight room. You know what I'm saying? That type of gang. So it's a
Mhm.
double play for a lot. So now it just be R, G clothing. So we just look to inspire people, man. And
Okay.
the clothes good though.
Hey, I gotta cop me some of that. It's dope. Especially I think that you was wearing a hoodie. It's kind of like a orange hoodie with the white RNG on there. Yeah, I gotta cop that.
Hmm.
I got, and it was dope. I don't know. I haven't seen some of your earlier designs, but it was dope that y'all didn't put the actual words on it, so it wasn't a whole lot that you had to change. Just the
Hmm.
actual name, but you didn't have to like throw away all the clothes because it had the old name on it. So that was clutch.
It was clutch, bro. Adversity.
Yeah.
We had it hit us, but it's a great story to tell. And then, like I say, bro. I want you to have him on. I mean, if you don't
Oh yeah.
mind,
Oh
he
yeah.
can. Like I say, he's the head. He the head. But he like me and him. We a team, bro. He like Slim, and I'm like Baby. So it's like he like to play the low cut.
He want to be
You know
behind the
what I'm saying?
scenes with it.
He want to be behind the scenes with it, but he got me. And then whenever he ready, bro, which he already ready, but he just be so focused on what bettering in the clothes and
Hmm.
like we serious about the quality of the clothes. Like that's what we came into this out of necessity. We couldn't find nothing that we liked to wear, bro.
Hmm.
And then once we find the comfort of the clothes. Like our clothing brand is just something what you're gonna wear. If you buy a hoodie from us, man, you're gonna probably wear it. You're gonna wear it a lot. I ain't gonna lie. It's just something clean. It
Oh
ain't
yeah.
too much. Throw it on to the gym or go to work in it. You're gonna wear it a lot. But yep.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna cop me a I want me a whole sweatsuit with it so I can throw it on with some forces. But I'm definitely gonna cop that. But one question that I have that I like to ask, especially we talked about it a couple times earlier, but with you being a father, what does fatherhood mean to you?
Man, that's like the most important thing to me because of my childhood. I just look at it as what what I wanted from my dad, and I try to incorporate that with my kids. But 10x it though.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Because like I'm leading them, and I want them to see what I'm doing, and strive to be that, but better. So I always have to work on myself because, like you say, what they are looking,
Hmm.
and what you show them is what they're gonna become.
Yep.
So while we taking these risks and on this camera, we got the clothing brand, we trying to help people and all this. Who they look up, who your kids look up to first when they come out. Like it's gonna be mom and dad, like off
Hmm.
top, off rip. So that's my goal is to be a better person and help them and guide them in the right way, man. And hopefully whenever they 18, I can look back and I'm gonna let them go, like and just let them figure it out. I'm like, yo, I gave you all the principles and the morals, everything that you needed. Now it's on you. I always come back when you need something or whatever the case may be. I'ma help, but I want to see you fly. Hmm.
Man, yeah, I definitely get that. I second that. Like being a father is really all about what you do, and a little bit what you say is important, but as a kid, they only really gonna pay attention to your actions. And you can tell them that you love them till you blue in the face, but if you don't show them that you love them, if you don't show them, what it is to be a man or how to raise a young woman, um, by being hands on, that's a whole nother ordeal. So I love to always highlight, when people are in their child's life because there are a certain portion of us that aren't, which I don't understand them cats. But I do always like to highlight, the fathers that's in the household taking care of business. Um, and I want to thank you for being that for your children because they need it. All kids need their fathers in their lives. I don't care what it is. So it's important for us to not only be there, but to highlight others who are doing what they're supposed to do, not that we need the recognition, but just to highlight that we are, we do exist. Real fathers exist, and I think that's a narrative that needs to be pushed more, because we went through a big period of fathers not being in the household, and we saw the damage of that. So with that in mind, it's so important for us to continue to be in our kids' life and push them to do whatever it is that makes them happy. As long as they're not hurting nobody, man, I'm good with it, bro. I just love to see a father being a father.
Boy, that's great that you highlight that though. For
Yeah, man.
real. Cause you're right, man. It's slim.
Mhm.
It's slim for fatherhood out here for whatever reason. And that's when the work come in. Like you say, you might have a situation where I know people got situations where they might not be whatever with the case with their child's
Right.
mother, but that's when you're gonna have to fix that for your child
Mhm.
some kind of way. It just and that's when the work come in. A lot of people want to do no work, man. It's like, man, no, you gonna have to figure this out.
Yep.
Yeah,
Because it
you
ain't
say,
about you.
yeah, it ain't about you. You hit it on the head. It ain't about you, bro.
It's about the kid. Um, Man, we didn't drop so many jewels today, bro. It's just I can't wait
Bro.
to go back and actually look at the episode. But we got one more break coming up. And then when we come back, we'll come back with the too stubborn to fail moment after a word from our sponsors.
Okay.
For the moment, gotta know the difference. I can't forget to mention. Go get your money and stay out of other people. Go get your money and stay out of other people business.
Welcome back to the Too Stubborn to Fail podcast, where we tell stories about overcoming adversity. We got Corday Anderson in the building today. We just been having a dope conversation, dropping so many gems that I just can't wait to play this one back because I know it's an instant classic. But what I always like to end the episodes off with is a too stubborn to fail moment. Basically, a moment where you had to overcome adversity that sticks out to you the most. What's that moment for you? I know you may have a lot of adversity that you've overcome, but do you have any moment in mind that sticks out more than the others for you?
Man, I'm gonna get deep with it. Like a moment where a lot of things stopped for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's the passing of my cousin, man, last year around this time.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He was age 29.
Wow.
Got killed by gun violence, you know. And it was happened last year. So, on the journey of entrepreneurship, like and it was a time though I didn't want to get on camera. Then like I'm motivating people, but this adversity hit me and it hit home, and just to see how it affected my mama, my aunt, his mother, and just to see how it just tore everybody down. And like you, sometimes you can't get out of that funk.
Right.
And I was in it, man. I ain't gonna lie. I was in it. I lost him. He like a brother to me. It's my first cousin. I see him every day. Like we got family functions like Christmas coming up. We gonna miss him. And it kind of like put a stop to my dreams. Like everything stopped. And it's like, like life is crazy. It's like you never know what may happen. And so they kind of it put me in the funk. And then I shook back, man. I shook back and I realized, he was on here 29 years. He lived his life. Like, can't question God. Like now it put a little spark in me, like, life is short. Like I cannot play. I gotta go ahead and chase my dreams, be a better father, get in tune with the most high, and keep grinding out here. So yeah, man, that was something that hurt me and to put me in the funk. And I can't even tell you how I got out of it, man. Like I don't even know. I could have still be in it though. Like sometimes it's rough some days, And then, but it's just like I snapped out of it, and I was like, yo, I gotta be strong. Like you say, going to the gym, that helped me, that coached me. Like, yo, it get my mind off of it. Like, you know, I might call my mom, I might be over it, but I might call my aunt, and she going through it. And so it's
Mhm.
like, so now, like, yo, I'm looking at it, I see everybody down, so I gotta be the person to uplift everybody. Like, yo, we never gonna forget Darius. Like, you know what I'm saying? We just, but we gotta live though. We gonna have to live. Like,
Mhm.
let's go. So they kind of like sparked it in me. Like, okay, like, yo, God, like, what can I do? So now, like, yo, now I'm on it, and I ain't stopping. Too stubborn to fail. Whatever come my way, I gotta keep going, man. And it's hard, but we're gonna get it done.
Man, that was a dope moment, man. And sorry for your loss. I know losing people, especially people that mean so much to you, that's a hard thing to deal with. But it's dope to see that you've been able to bounce back from that in some capacity. Like you said, you never really get over it. It's something that's gonna always stick with you. But life goes on, and it's dope to see that not only you but the family is able to, be in a better place than they were when it first happened. So I appreciate that moment from the heart. But before we get out of here, where can the people find you? Social media platforms. Let us know where the podcast is, where they can cop the RMG brand. Just let us know everything.
Man, you can follow me. I'm very active on Instagram, Corday underscore RMG. You can find me at Corday Anderson on Facebook. And the podcast, All in the Wrist, that will be on YouTube. You can find me there. And if you need any personal training, let me know. Just hit me up on Facebook at Corday Anderson. We're gonna get right. And far, I need to holler at you about a system though. I'm gonna figure out a system, and because I like how your system is. You get emails, but we're gonna talk about it. So I gotta direct traffic to. I want to get my clients and get them the email. But I want to talk to you about systems because I see you. I like how your system rock.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. We're gonna get on it definitely. Um, But make sure y'all go ahead and tap into everything that he mentioned. Follow the podcast. Make sure you cop some merch. I'm definitely gonna get me a hoodie. That it's all fire. So I'm definitely gonna tune in. Make sure that y'all tap in. This has been another dope episode of the Too Stubborn to Fail podcast. We had Corday Anderson in the building today, just dropping so many gems. It really never felt like an interview. It was more of a dope conversation. But before we leave today, do you have any words of encouragement, any closing marks that you want to leave the people with today?
Man, just keep going. Like we said in the interview, stay consistent. Let's motivate each other. Let's just do it together. Take a village, you know. You know what I'm saying? It's no one man team. So let's stop. Let's don't hate on each other. Let's do it together. And we gonna make it happen.
There you
So
have it. There you have it. This has been, like I said, another dope episode of the Too Stubborn to Fail podcast. We had Corday Anderson in the building today. I'm your host, Darren Perkins, and we are Too Stubborn to Fail.
sir.